Social evolutionary theory explains that this has roots based on the fact that men, in order to propagate their own family line, would naturally choose the most healthy and fertile mates. Beauty, healthy, okay? That, of course, that definition changes over time, of course, but physical attraction is what men look for from a social evolutionary perspective. So they choose mates based on physical attractiveness, but not so for women. Women typically choose mates, and I'm not talking about boyfriends here, and I'm not talking about young women under 25, because that's very different. When you become a woman, like you're working, life is hard, you gotta earn your own, you're trying to look for a husband, maybe a future father, women tend to look for socioeconomic status. So typically, even when I talk with female friends or women, I ask them, okay, single women, would you ever date someone and marry someone that is less educated than you? Like meaning you have a university degree, they don't. Would you ever? Most women are like, probably not, right? Just like that. Okay, so women today tend to look for socioeconomic status, equal or higher than them. Men look for physical attractiveness. Okay, let me give you a few quotes in regards to psychological and social differences between how men and women tend to look at their own bodies and body image. First, functional view versus a fragmented view on their bodies. A little bit technical, just follow along. Okay? I'm gonna get less technical as time goes on, okay, this morning. Men tend to talk about their bodies, this is a quote from the textbook here, psychological textbook. Men tend to talk about their bodies as whole and functional entities. For example, look how fast I can run. Look how much I can lift, okay? Whereas women tend to evaluate and talk about their bodies as a collection of different and distinct parts. I hate the size of my thighs. This is just a quote, by the way. I'm not making this up. This is a quote from the text. I hate the size of my thighs, they would say. Here's another difference between men and women. These are obviously generalized differences because there could be exceptions on both categories, but generalized differences. Overestimate and underestimate. Okay, overestimate. Normal weight women were more likely than normal weight men to be critical about their weight, and to report being heavier than their actual weight, even though their actual weight, based on body mass index, BMI, between men and women were not significantly different. Over 1/3 of women perceive themselves to be heavier than they really were. Okay, but get this, but 50% of overweight men perceive themselves to be average weight. You gotta think of that percent. It's like the opposite, okay? And 19% of average weight, some people are chuckling. I'm not, so this is true though, okay? Some of you by experience. And average weight, 19% of average weight men perceive themselves to be underweight. Like you're average weight, but you're like, oh, I'm so, I'm really thin right now. But okay, but women have the opposite. This is the difference, okay? When men perceive that something needs to change regarding their body weight, men desire to gain weight and body mass, but women desire to lose weight. Adolescent women who are not overweight perceive themselves, girls rather, who are not overweight, okay, so they're normal and weight healthy, perceive themselves to be overweight. They felt dissatisfied with their current weight. They reported lower self-esteem than other girls did over a 2-year period.